90.3 FM. My name is Jude Ikami Jude, and these are the top stories. Doctors suspend strike, extends ultimatum by 2 weeks. Lagos in a buzz as 6th President Tinubu attend Dangote Refinery inauguration. Falana kicks as Ngige asks federal government to pay withheld salaries of UNIZIK lecturers. PDP Chieftain in trouble as police uncover shocking N2billion vote buying scheme. Another foreign saying Facebook fined 1.2 billion euros for mishandling users' data. Details coming shortly. Do stay with us. This moment begins with members of the Nigerian Association of Resident Doctors announcing yesterday the suspension of their 5-day warning strike. You will recall that the strike began on May the 17th. The decision followed last Friday's reconciliation meeting between the association and the federal government represented by the Minister of Labour and Employment, Dr. Chris Ngige. During the meeting, the parties signed a Memorandum of Understanding MOU. After consulting with its members, the National Association of Resident Doctors decided to resume work today. It gave the government another 2 weeks ultimatum to meet its members' demands. The National Executive Council of the association is expected to reconvene by June the 2nd at its general meeting to decide on the next line of action. Meanwhile, President Muhammadu Buhari will commission the Dangote Refinery and Petrochemicals, the world's largest single-train refinery in Ibeju-Lekki, Lagos today. 5 other presidents will be joining President Muhammadu Buhari in the epoch-making event that is expected to positively transform Nigeria's oil and gas sectoral landscape. Expected at the historic event, apart from the international dignitaries, are the President of Togo, Ghana Singbe Eyendema, Ghana's Nana Akufo-Addo, President of Senegal, Macky Sall, President of Niger Republic, Mohamed Bazoum, President of Chad, Mahamat Debi, and a host of ambassadors. Nigeria's President-elect Bola Ahmed Tinubu, whose administration as the governor of Lagos in 2002 floated the free trade zone in Ibeju-Lekki, where the refinery is located, and is expected to be at the event. All the 36 state governors and most of the governors-elect, ministers, senators, and captains of industries in Nigeria and others from outside the country, global oil traders, top international bankers, international multilateral agencies have indicated their readiness to grace the ceremony. The commissioning of Dangote Petroleum Refinery is significant given that it is the first time that a refinery of such magnitude built by an individual is being commissioned. Dangote's Petroleum Refinery is expected to meet the needs of Nigerian consumers and those in neighboring countries while allowing for export beyond the African continent. The refinery will drive the promotion of the African Continental Free Trade Area as over 50 countries in the trade bloc depend on imported refineries' petroleum products. And now, where Femi Falana, a senior advocate of Nigeria, SAN, has opposed the move by Chris Ngige, Minister of Labour, to facilitate the payment of withheld salaries of some lecturers at the Nnamdi Azikiwe University, UNIZIK. The salaries of the lecturers were withheld as a result of the 8 months nationwide industrial action by the Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU, last year. You will recall in 2002, lecturers under ASU embarked on an 8-month strike over the non-implementation of their demands by the federal government. Members of the union have been at loggerheads with the government since the strike ended over non-payment of their salaries for the period the industrial action lasted. Reacting in a statement, Falana argued that the minister's action contradicts the law. The lawyer, who is the counsel to ASU amidst the lingering face-off, said, contrary to Ngige's claim, the entire lecturers of UNIZIC joined the 8-month strike last year. He said, and I read, Dr. Chris Ngige has convinced the federal government not to pay ASU members for embarking on strike in 2002, but he has decided to isolate his colleagues in his home state for a special favor by causing their salary to be paid for the period of the same strike. End quote. And now, in a recent development, a top Nigerian politician, Ladi Adebutu, who said last week that he had fled Nigeria over threats to his life, has been indicted by the Nigerian police force for money laundering and vote buying during the last general elections. According to Premium Times, in an exclusive report, the police said Mr. Adebutu, the governorship candidate of the People's Democratic Party (PDP) in Ogun State, deployed 2 billion naira to induce voters across the state to vote for him and his party during the March the 18th election. The allegation is contained in the interim report of police investigation into a petition written to the Inspector General of Police by the Ogun State chairperson of the All Progressives Congress (APC), Abdullahi Sanusi. However, Mr. Adebutu eventually lost the election after polling 262,383 votes to return second behind Governor Dapo Abiodun of the APC, who polled 276,298 votes. He has, however, filed a petition before the Election Petition Tribunal to challenge Mr. Abiodun's return. Now, speaking on these expose is Barrister Tunji Abdul Hamid. Please take a listen to him.
A PDP governorship candidate recently has been fingered to be part of a particular vote buying infraction. In fact, this expose was actually brought on by Premium Times. And apparently, this PDP governorship aspirant or candidate is Ladi Adebutu. And apparently, he was the governorship candidate for PDP in Ogun State. The police has stated that Mr. Adebutu was deployed about 2 billion naira to induce voters across the state to vote for him and his party during the March 18 elections. And unfortunately, though, the petition, which was dated on March 18, the election day, and addressed to the Inspector General of Police, Usman Baba, accused the PDP candidate of distributing ATM cards preloaded with 10,000 naira to induce voters on election day. Now, the petition has now been investigated by a team led by Mohammed Babakura, Deputy Commissioner of Police at the Criminal Investigation Department of the Police in Abeokuta. And Mr. Adebutu eventually lost the election after he polled 262,383 votes. Unfortunately, it seems that there have been evidence to actually prove that this particular PDP governorship candidate may actually be contentious of these allegations. The PDP chairman alleged that Mr. Adebutu was using Verve ATM credit cards branded in the name of his late mother in buying votes in all polling units. I need to know, you know that we have cases at the Election Petition Tribunal of votes being bought, of rigging being carried out in some polling units across the Federation. The PDP too is one of the political parties contending the win of President-elect Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Would one say that it is quite ironical to find that a PDP governorship candidate is the one who is being fingered in this debacle?
Anybody can be fingered any crime in this country. You see, I think today I'm not still in the realm of allegations, and I've gone beyond the taking this mere allegation as serious. Most times in Nigeria, what we hear is people making allegations as there and other, call it political allegation, and thereafter, once they achieve their aim, we won't hear anything about the case again. Until the case is taken to court and the man is tried and then the evidence is provided and is convicted, then that's when I will take them serious. As of today, I'm not aware of any evidence that has been presented. And I don't take these media allegations most serious, particularly when it comes from our security agencies. Most time what they do these days is media trial.
No, but here is the thing. It is the police actually. They are the ones who actually found out this part.
Police part of the security. That's what I'm saying. I say security agencies. Police is part of the security. If you have a case and you have a tight case, you don't have to put it in the media. Go take him to court.
But Mr. Laji Adebutu fled Nigeria. He said that there are threats to his life. And the police investigators are saying that he's yet to honor their invitation. So would you consider it a coincidence that he traveled out of the country, considering the fact that he's being investigated by the Nigerian police?
I won't be able to answer that one because I don't know whether it should be in the name of suspicion and allegation, whether he traveled and is convicted or not. In law, what they say is that you must hear from both sides. We are hearing one side of the story now. We don't know. We are not heard from the man. So we don't. I'm even aware that the man is in court, and the man also alleged vote buying by PDP and by NPP.
Yes, he did. He did. Continue, sir. Continue.
So probably it's again. So I'm aware he also alleged that the APC did vote buying at the last election. So there are still allegations. Whether or not he has written petition to the police regarding that one, I'm not aware of that. But like I said, I will not dwell more on the allegations by the police until they have done their investigation properly. The man is taken to court and evidence is provided before we put it. That's when I will take them serious. Most times these police or these security agencies have become a political tool by other party to disrupt the other party's petition or to destroy their petition or to even create imbalances in whatever they are saying. You don't have to, as a security agency, you don't have to come to public and tell us that take it. Has it been taken to court? Has it been given to court? Yes, I am aware they say it's been invited. It's not around. When it comes back, what will happen? You remember that Apabio was only invited by security agencies and he said he was abroad. Doing something. He is back. Nothing has happened. Did you hear anything? Nothing. He's back and he's doing campaign regarding becoming a state president. So I don't take them seriously any longer because until I see what action, I don't want to be following it and then relying on the allegation by them. They'll just make allegation and that will be all, and then they won't do more.
But the police said they have gotten suspects. One Adijoke Sani, a 50-year-old woman, she allegedly had in her possession 4 agent cards, each of the Social Democratic Party and Labour Party as well, with 131 credit cards. Other 4 suspects, Hamid Ogunbona, Waliyu Tiamiyu, Owolabi Egunshola, and Malik Badmus, were also card-carrying members of the PDP and were arrested with 52 credit cards and 4 voter cards. That all this is based on the police investigations of what took place on March 18. So apparently, part of the investigations, not just the PDP that is fingered in most of the electoral malpractice, there is the Social Democratic Party, as well as the Labour Party too being fingered in this with about 131 credit cards. And then after the police had taken statements from the suspects, the investigation team went ahead to speak with some POS operators who were also arrested. And they were officials of the VEV, the issuers of the credit cards, and most questions were asked from these people. So the question is now, we have these contentious political parties at the Election Petition Tribunal saying that the APC went ahead with what transpired through rigging. That is how the president-elect emerged. And from these investigations, one could also say that some rigging was taking place, and that's why this particular PDP individual was fingered. Other political parties too were mentioned in the course of the investigation. So who would we say is right and who would we say is wrong, considering that we have issues at Election Petition Tribunal?
That's what I'm saying. You see, like I said earlier on, the first person to make allegation against regarding vote buying, it was a deputy against the APC. And to date, I'm not aware that anybody has been invited for scrutiny or for any questioning. I'm not aware of that. So now allegation has been made against other parties. They have been investigated, they have been arrested. The way I manage our security agencies try to be partial is my worry, and that's why they don't get results whenever they are doing anything. Sometimes they don't do things in line with what they just want to be used, and then they allow themselves to be used, and that's what I see. I think until I see them, bring them to court, bring evidence for the court, and I don't even understand it. The fact that the credit card, I have a credit card in my hand, and you have a voter card in my hand, does that mean I want to buy your vote? Or how much are we talking about? Is it millions of naira that they cannot be given in naira or in transfer that they will now give them credit card? You have to link it. For you to say, you have to link, and you have to ascertain that this credit card was given for the purpose of vote buying. And in any event, you didn't win the election. If truly that money was amassed for vote buying and then they did buy votes, why did they not win the election? Why was it not the winner of the election? You see, the issue is this, and you know they have a narrow gap between them, the APC and PDP, and the matter I said at the petition tribunal. These are issues to be resolved at the petition, not even outside. No matter how well you use anybody to pursue anybody for vote buying, that will not affect what is happening at the petition. Except those people that have been arrested, it came clearly to say, look, truly this is that, and you still have to do investigation. You have to also confirm and link that, look, actually, this card belongs to the person that they say that they came, he gave it to them. It's not that easy. It's not just an assumption and then you think that person is guilty or whatever. You have to link that card. You have to link the money being given to them to that person directly, not because it's given to him by the PA or by the SA or this and that. Otherwise, there won't be anything. I think they need to do more investigation, and they believe they've done their investigation. They can file their case in court and they charge in court against those who have been found guilty. I don't want to be listening to this media trial. You can see EFCC and the Master of Zamfara issue now. They say the EFCC made an allegation against Zamfara government.
Matawale.
He came back and said, yes, he came back and said they did that because I refused to give them such amount of money. I was expecting, even though I'm not saying what the response by Zamfara state governor was right, it's an exoneration. It's not. But EFCC too, the answer that my question is fighting back is not an answer as far as I'm concerned. What I expect EFCC to do to answer that kind of thing is to bring out details of what the allegation here says, because there are allegations that people will not follow in terms of sale of recovered assets. I expect them to bring details of what have been sold and how they have said, how they went about it. That's what we'll play. So you see, we are in a country where people will just look at you. If you want to look at allegations in this country, and they will say, based on allegations, once you allege, you cannot hold position. Nobody will hold position in this country. Because once I come up to say I want to become anything, people will bring out the allegation against me. So whether or not it's right is another thing. So what I need from the police is to ensure that, look, this allegation, they did the investigation very well, and they go ahead with the prosecution. And they must link the man directly with it. So it's not enough to say the PDP man and then those that have been arrested at PDP, and then the APC man or SDP man, and those that have been arrested at SDP or APC man. That's not enough.
That was Barrister Tunji Abdulhamid. And now on the foreign scene, Facebook's owner, Meta, has been fined 1.2 billion euros for mishandling people's data when transferring it between Europe and the United States. Issued by Ireland's Data Protection Commission, it is the largest fine imposed under the EU's General Data Protection Regulation Privacy Law. GDPR rules requires companies to seek people's consent before using their personal data. Meta says it will appeal against the unjustified and unnecessary ruling. At the crux of this decision is the use of standard constructual clauses, SCCs, to move EU data to the US. And to wrap up the world news at 12, here again are the top stories. Doctors suspend strike, extends ultimatum by 2 weeks. Lagos in the buzz as 6 presidents Tinubu attend Dangote's refinery inauguration. Falana kicks as Ngige asks federal government to pay withheld salaries of Unizik lecturers. PDP Chieftain in trouble as police uncover shocking 2 billion naira vote buying scheme. And on the foreign scene, we also told you Facebook fined 1.2 billion euros for mishandling users' data. And that's the world news. My name is Jude Ikami Jude. The news was compiled and edited by Esther Onwachuku.